This is an update on the Sony EVS3000 that I've already done 2 videos on, and we've got it to the point where the transport works, but we've got no video. So there's still many things wrong with it. The key switches aren't working and it doesn't have video, and I've spent a bunch more time on it doing some troubleshooting. I figured I'd give you guys an update as to where exactly we stand on this unit as of now. So I'm back on the EVS3000. I haven't done anything since earlier today when I got the tape transport going. It's just been sitting here, but it's cooled down a bit and that picture has gone really bad again. This is the time-based corrector. Pop the top off it and you'll see that it's full of these little, well, not full, but it's got quite a few of these electrolytic surface mounted caps. It's full of them. It's full of them. I'm just going to throw some heat on it and we'll see if the picture improves. Because I bet that if I put my heat on, which I'm going to be careful here because I've got a electric heater running and I'll trip the breaker if I'm not careful. But I'm going to throw some heat onto here and we'll see whether the picture improves on the monitor. Actually, I don't even need to grab the heat gun. I can just grab the stupid heater that's sitting on the floor. We'll just pick this up and put it near it. We'll see whether heat from my little heater will improve the picture by just bringing this in here. I'll show the picture on the screen and we'll watch it and see whether heating this up will improve it. So when I throw some heat from this heater onto the board here, what's going to happen? See, earlier today, there you see, that picture's getting stable. Just throw a little bit of heat on here, just from an electric heater. I wonder if I try playing the tape, whether that tape will play with the unit heated up. We're heating up the time-based corrector to get a picture back. Our problem is certainly, we have a problem certainly in this time-based corrector. I just wonder if I throw enough heat on here, whether it will actually make it work. Of course I can heat that individual caps up with soldering iron too. See if we can kick them in. We may have more problems than just this time-based corrector because the video passing through E to E was distorted and when it cleared up when it got warm, but the playback hasn't come back. Typically when you got a bad cap that's thermal, you just touch it and it'll start to work. It's gone thermal. Oh, there we go. See that? Which one was it? Was it this one? We're getting a picture. Well, these ones brought that picture in. Anyway, we now know where the problem. Here it goes. We gotta change out these caps. Simple as that. So first things first, let's unplug the time-based corrector from the main board. Remove this cover. Got to remove the PVC, and it it should lift out. I'm trying to remember how this one comes out. There's a screw down here. It unplugs and lifts out. So it should lift up and unplug from this other board, and then it should lift out once I unplug it. Oh, I gotta undo another clip over here. It looks like there's a clip over here that goes through. Gotta pop that out. Okay, now I can lift the board out. Really? I gotta lift this other board out too? Man, don't make it easy, do they? You gotta lift this board up. System control board. This is the one that the front panel plugs into. Lift this one up. Should be able to pop these out. And now I should be able to get this out. There might be a connector going on the top. No, there we go. Yeah. Oh, that was hung in. It's got tape on it. That's why it's taped down to the other connector. So this is the time-based corrector that I need to start changing a bunch of caps on. This has got a lot of them on it. I don't think I've got enough. So I'm just going through with the ESR meter and checking all the surface-mounted electrolytic caps on here, and they're all going to be open. Every single one of these is going to be bad. Oh, that one's okay. 2.9. Well, it's actually not okay, but it's not open like the other ones have all been open. Right? This one here is open. Right? It's like every single one of these is just completely open. That one isn't completely failed. That one has. What about this 100? Measuring kind of high for a 100. 3.5. 100 should be about 1.2, I guess. What voltage are these? 6 volts. Yeah, 1.2. Well, maybe a little bit higher, but still. Open. 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 These are all open. I think what I'm going to end up doing is just ordering a whole bunch of these stupid caps in 3.2 rather than put in regular leaded caps, because there's not a lot of room in here. These are going to have to be done with surface mount. 15. So, but we know where the fault is on this. We know it needs to be done. Every one of these surface mounted caps does need to be changed. There's no getting around that on this unit. There's 35 surface mounted caps on here that all need to be changed. I'm going to have to order these in, because I'm not going to put in conventional leaded caps. There's just not enough room to start laying them over and putting them in place. these are going to have to be done with surface mounted caps, which I don't stock, so I'm going to have to order them in. We know where we stand on here. I got to get a hold of the guy that owns this thing and let him know what needs to be done. Now that we know, because I can get a picture off of it, I know what needs to be done. I'm going to have to give him a more realistic price as to really what it's going to cost to get this machine working properly. But they all have to be changed. There's no way around it. Every single surface mounted electrolytic cap in this machine needs to be changed. If you've got one of these EVS3000s, you're going to have to do the same. If you want to keep them running, that's what you're going to have to do it. Anyway, this is just a quick update. We'll do a full video on this once I get around to getting the parts, because I'm going to have to bring these in. I have to order them in from somewhere. I don't even know where I'm going to get them from yet, but I'll have to order them in. I'll take an inventory and we'll get the parts in and get this going. That is providing that the guy that owns it, which I still have to get a hold of at this point, that's providing that he does want to fix it. I'm sure he will, but it's he may be looking at a little bit more money than he had budgeted, just because of the amount of work that is required to get this one running. Anyway, I just wanted to do a quick update. So I still don't know what I'm going to do for the front panel. This is the front panel, right? This is I remember I said it was a membrane keypad, and someone's going to probably make comments saying it's not membrane. It is a membrane type keypad. You can see it. Just they're just traces here. I don't know whether just reseating this is going to fix it. We'll try that. See whether that gets the front panel to work properly. Otherwise, that's just yet another problem with this unit. So after reseating the interface cable for the membrane key switch, and this is a membrane key switch, incidentally. They feel tactile, but what they are is they're just a membrane switch with little dimple type switches, contact switches on it that when you press them down, but it does go through a membrane type switch. Anyway, I unplugged it, reseated it. I want to see whether this works, because remember when I pushed play before, it tried to go into record, and now when I push play, it appears to go into play. It's not trying to record now. And if I push fast forward, it goes fast forward. If I push reverse, it goes reverse. So the key switch is good. That's the only good news here. Fast forward, stop. So the functions are working now. How about the edit button? Does that turn the edit light on and off? It indeed does. So that part is working. Okay, so channel numbers. Oops, I guess I have to switch to input here. Where are we here? Input select. There we go. Channels are changing the channel on the tuner, as you can see. So I don't have anything hooked up to it, but the channel buttons are working, as is the input. So now all I gotta do is just get those caps, and I'm gonna put this aside because I'm gonna have to order them in anyway. I don't stock them. I don't even know who carries them. I have to do a bulk buy on this, but anyway, I just wanted to provide a quick update so that we know where we stand for the third part, because you've already seen part 2, and there's going to be a third part obviously when we get the caps in to get this thing running. But just so you know the amount of work that goes into getting one of these machines operational again after it's been sitting around. And yeah, they're going to be fairly expensive to get one of these running. But anyway, I think it's probably worthwhile, because when these are working, they're a pretty good machine. But a lot goes wrong with them. A lot of failed capacitors, as we saw in the power supply and the preamp board, and of course all the 35 or so caps that need to be changed on the time-based corrector. So we're going to set this one aside, and we'll pick this up again probably in another month or so when the parts come in, or whenever I can get them, and we'll get this one going. Anyway, now you know what's wrong with it. We've seen it work. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you on this one when we come back to it. Bye.